As discommunicated, this is take 5 of this vlog I've tried to do because my friends are all being retards trying to interrupt my video. Anyway, today at the Tasmanian Historic Site, I'm here, I'm on camp, and I got my friend Josh with me.
Hi.
Yep, and we got to answer the 9 questions. A positive, negative, and interesting thing about the living conditions here. I reckon it's a positive and a negative that the rooms are very small because they can keep track of stuff better than me, and they got pretty small rooms, so it's a negative thing because you got barely any space to move around. An interesting thing for me would be that they're all packed in together like a giant pack of rats living in this one shoebox. What do you think, Josh? Positive, negative, and interesting?
Positive, probably having enough fuel. Negative, small rooms. I couldn't live in a small room.
Interesting?
How small the doorways were. I hit my head on them several times.
Yeah, I hit my head on it at least once. The working conditions, we also need a positive, negative, and interesting from. The working conditions, they worked in a coal mine. They had plenty of fuel to last them for ages, and they'd get through the winter really easily. Negative thing, they live in a coal mine. They could collapse and they could freaking die. And they wouldn't have much, well, as I said, they'd have to use their fires outside because they'd smoke themselves out in where they lived. I was going to show you that, but we were walking with our group, and anyway, an interesting thing about the coal mine and where they worked is that the conditions were fairly decent by my standards. Like, you work in a coal mine, you get to pick up coal, you get to draw with it, you got all these creative things you can do. If you look at something, you can see many things that it could become. Like, I look at coal, I see fuel, I see electricity, I see cars, I see, like, pencils to draw with. It's very creative. So what do you think, Josh?
What was it? Positive, negative, interesting?
Yep.
Okay, positive, like James said, plenty of fuel.
Yep.
Negative, you wouldn't have that much air. I mean, seriously, heaps of people working in a single coal mine.
Yeah.
You use up all the oxygen. And damn, the interesting. I'm not sure about that.
Could be that they had a better job than us now. We'd be like working in Target.
I didn't have a job.
Yeah, I do.
So of course they've got a better job than me.
Yeah, well, they have jobs, and it's an interesting job. You get to smash stuff with metal pickaxes and hammers and shovels and stuff.
Yeah. Although they were... Actually, no, I think they were convicts.
They could have been. Tasmania was a convict place as well as Australia. Now, the location where we're at. Beautiful place, in my opinion. Look at the trees behind me. Freaking beautiful. Yeah. They lived on the coast. Like, beautiful sandy beaches. It's like, I'll see if you can get a look at the water. If you can't see, you can see it out there, just there. It's freaking awesome water. It looks heaps good to swim in, but I'm not allowed to swim on camp because Mum doesn't trust me enough to swim 50 metres. Laugh at me if you want, but I know I can. But she doesn't trust me enough
Me,
to
on the other hand, I don't trust myself. My mother does.
Yeah. So the living condition, not the living conditions, the location. It's a great location. It's a beautiful place. A negative is that
It's an artist's paradise, actually.
yeah, a negative place is that you've got to run round everywhere just to get to different locations. Like about half a kilometre separating each location. An interesting thing is how half the buildings have fallen down after 200 or so years. Like, you think at least one of them would still be standing.
Well, at least you've got the fronts.
Yeah, we've got like the fronts of the buildings over there, if you can see it. If you can't, then I apologise, I was probably holding the camera too high. It's behind me now. Yep, now I can see. Anyway, I think that's all questions. I'm going to get Josh back in the frame so we can both say goodbye. Anyway, I'm going to see you guys later. This is my first journal vlog for school. Josh won't be in all of them. It'll just be me mostly. Bye.
Yeah, probably.